part of the governor's budget, he's proposing shifts of about $25.48 million out of DP funds to the Environmental Stewardship Fund and the Recycling Fund. Ultimately, doing some increases. Obviously, the general fund looks like some decreases, but ultimately some increases in those line items. Just curious if you support that plan.
Yes, absolutely. It allows us to keep level of effort for those general fund line items without impacting any of the services because of the way they're handling the shifts in, for example, the debt service moving out of the Environmental Stewardship Fund.
Okay. Back in September 8th, 2017, the department sent out a press release. House Republicans' budget plan threatens environmental and breaks promises to Pennsylvania communities. Plan would raid funds dedicated to environmental education, hazardous site cleanup, among others. Quote, this proposal will create serious threats to the health and safety of Pennsylvanians and environment, said DEP Secretary Patrick McDonnell. Taking money from these funds, which were not filled with taxpayer dollars to begin with, breaks a promise to the people of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvanians expect that DEP's resources are used to restore watersheds affected by abandoned mine lands, clean up brownfields and restore them to good use, and teach our children the importance of healthy environment. Further down, quote, there's no reason to trade the proposed one-time transfers for long-time environmental degradation. Further goes, it does not matter if it's $1 or $1 million. These funds are not a piggy bank. These funds have been strategically dedicated to projects that are making a difference for Pennsylvania communities. What changed between the two from 2017 to today?
So I think there's two things. One, again, just to reiterate the point I made a moment ago, these are transfers being done without impacts on that level of effort. So again, for example, in the Environmental Stewardship Fund, by moving the debt service out of the Environmental Stewardship Fund, it allows those grant line items to remain relatively constant. In addition to that, though, I'd say, I mean, every budget is, the budgeting process is an annual one. So as they looked broadly at how to manage this year's budget, in particular in a environment of no revenue increases, this was one of the solutions that was come up with.
I'm saying I'm not against it. I'm just curious as the 180-degree reverse from your position 2 years ago today. I mean, from what we heard 2 years ago, where all those funds are committed, they all have contracts, there's no excess money, there's no excess capital. So what happened in the funds to actually free up dollars today?
So again, in the Environmental Stewardship Fund, the debt service move made dollars available within that. Within the recycling fund, and talked about this previously, there was, when we were going into the unknown about the sunsetting of the fee that was ultimately resolved, one of the things we had done was slow down those grants. So we had a 4-year process by which we would have done a level of effort above and beyond what we had traditionally done to kind of catch up. So we're going to maintain the usual level of effort within the recycling fund, but that accelerated schedule won't be occurring.
The recycling fund, you said there's did you just mention there's a 4-year cycle of funds you go through there to?
So there was a, when we had the recycling fee sunsetting, we had started slowing down, and in fact, there was a year where we did not offer those grants, so which led to the balance building up. So in order to deal with that, we had developed internally a 4-year plan to manage that and move those grant dollars out. We're basically taking advantage of the fact that we had an accelerated schedule so that we can maintain that level of effort that has traditionally been there in the fund.
What year was there no release of funds?
I want to say it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes.